Hey, it's Elisa, otherwise known as Half Asian Tarot Queen, and yeah, I haven't really done a reading in a long time because it's been a super crazy year, and so I figured, since it's like New Year's, I'm going to do one for 2022. And I remember, I should go back and watch it, but the one that I did for 2021, which I'll link up here, it was all about like integration and integrating like these wounds and healing. And yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what comes out for 2022, because I think, everyone's pretty much gone through it. I just shuffled and picked a card from Yogic Path to start the reading. And so we got Asana and we got Santosha on the bottom of the deck. So this is all about like effortless flow, like the Santosha deck, which is interesting because I think we've all kind of like really been like walking through some tough stuff and readjustments and stuff, and like maybe coming out on the other side of that into this new beginning where we can like kind of find our flow again. And then Asana, it's all about sitting in stillness. So I'm going to just read what the card says. It says, your physical body holds the key to your evolvement, but it's just the first portal. The asana, yogic body postures you have been practicing have been preparing you for true asana, to sit in stillness with the truth. These shapes and movements have removed the cobwebs of your limiting self, creating space for the silence of your mind's forest. You are one of those who realizes the true intention of asana, and the one paving the way for others to see this bodily practice is really just a way to come face to face with yourself. Continue to cultivate your practice and move deeper into its core purpose, flow of energy into the body for the evolution of spirit. That really goes along with kind of what I was just saying. We've kind of had to like work through all this difficult stuff and like sit with it and come out the other side of it, into this sort of new state of being and evolution. So anyways, we'll see what we come up with for this reading. I'm going to go to the Star Child deck, which I also haven't used in forever, just to get some overall energies for this reading. And I don't even know if I've even used this deck since like last New Year's, not for a long time. I mean, I love this deck, and there's been like another release of this deck since I got it, but okay, I'm just gonna pull like 3 cards from this deck, and there's one. Oh my gosh, these two look like kind of came out together, so I'm just gonna take that, and then we'll pull one more. This looks like, so far what's come out, it looks really dramatic and tumultuous, which is funny. I mean, it does kind of seem like we're set for that. Okay. So at the bottom of the deck, we got the Knight of Swords. So this is really interesting because it's like the Knight of Swords is kind of like staring into this cosmic abyss. But in the traditional deck, this is like a message of like truth and clarity coming in. So it's almost like we're staring into this truth, and like we're like about to like take this leap of faith into this unknown world, I mean, that's kind of how I'm getting it from this deck. So I got the King of Swords in reverse. I got, these two came out together, the Nine of Wands, which is the Wounded Warrior card in the traditional deck, and the Nine of Swords, which is weird because these both, it flipped out together. So nines are kind of like the end of a cycle. And so it kind of like, how I'm taking this is sort of like we've been like working through all these sort of like belief systems and like long held ways of being that have just like been just obliterated in the last 2 years, and everyone's kind of adapting to it, and it's like a mess, you know. And so that's kind of what I'm getting. Like, this is like the mess, you know. It's just like, this is like someone who just like cannot handle reality how it is. Like, it's just like, no, and like resisting, like being kind of psychotic, making it really difficult, you know. But we're like, and like we've been going through this energy, just like unreasonable, crazy, just destructive, and totally psychotic, you know. And it's like, we're worn out, like we've been beaten up, and we kind of want to almost give up, you know. Like, this is just too much. Like, it's just too much, you know. Like, and so it's just sort of like, in any other circumstance, you'd be looking at this and being like, no way. Like, but what's behind you is like this and like this. So like, finally, after all of this, like jumping into this unknown actually looks, it kind of looks appealing right now, you know, because of what we've just been through. And what's crazy is when I picked up this card, what came up underneath it was the Four of Wands, which is a card of like totally like stability and foundation, and like that's what's underneath it. Like, if we actually can overcome all of our fear and anxiety and just like have faith, like if we can dive into this unknown, like that's actually, in this era of this, that's actually where the stability is, you know. And any other time it's just like, no way, you know. But right now, like that's the stability. And so the next card that comes through is the Page of Crystals, which is like a stable new beginning. So yeah, so that's the overall energy for this year. So okay, so my mom, she might interrupt, but this is part of the world that I live in. So I'm going, since I kind of started from this super metaphysical perspective with the Star Child Tarot, so I'm going down to this totally black and white, grounded, opposite perspective tarot to get some perspectives on this year that it looks pretty auspicious, but it's almost like it's like a make or break time, you know. Like, if you're willing to jump into this, like there's this magical effortless flow that awaits and leading to a new stability. But like, not everyone's willing to go there necessarily, you know. So okay, oh my gosh, all right, there it is. Okay, so at the bottom of the deck we got the Nine of Wands again. So this is the second time we've gotten the Nine of Wands. So that's like the Wounded Warrior card. That's someone who's just like been run through the ringer and is really tired and has been beaten up and is just like ready to give up. But they're not going to. They're like hanging in there, you know. So it doesn't really point to a, like, we're over the hump and this is going to be an easy year, like I think maybe a lot of people have been hoping. That's not what's coming through right now. But we got, or maybe towards the end, so we got the Two of Swords, the Tower, and Death. So like, I mean, to me what this says is like, this is a card of someone who's in denial, someone who's blocked, who's blindfolded, who can't see the future in front of them, and they're just kind of stuck, you know? And that's this person who's like, cannot face reality, can't deal, and is just like acting out, being unreasonable, being like totally psychotic. This person is stuck, you know? But what comes after that is the Tower. So like whatever this is that they're stuck in, like it's about to just completely crumble to the ground. And it's going to force a change, which is interesting because this falls out right under this new beginning. Like it's going to force this new beginning. So it's interesting too that the Tower falls out right under this double 9. This is the end of this era. It's going down. It's going to be super dramatic. And there's no way around it. But it's ultimately going to lead to this new beginning. And then on the next row we have the Hermit, the Empress, and we have the Four of Cups. So what I'm getting from this is just sort of like, this is like a spiritual moment, a spiritual awakening, a spiritual quest. Like, I mean, you can either look at it this way, or you can go inward and take the lesson from it. And that's how you're going to find this effortless flow. That's where you're going to find the new stability. And that's where you're going to have to go. Like, you're going to have to go there. And if you can do that, if you can find your power, and you'll be kind of like ascending to this new status, like the Empress. But you're going to have to kind of like really hold your vision, and it's not going to be an easy path. So this I mean, this really kind of speaks to the story of like ascension. It's interesting because I've been really hooked on this YouTube channel lately called Boho Beautiful, and it's like this yoga channel, and I'm like totally addicted to it. And they have this program for this year, and it's called Ascension. And so it's sort of like, that's sort of like the challenge of this year, I think. And maybe that's what this reading is going to be called. So I'm going to the Starseed Oracle to pick a couple final themes here. I got lifting the veil, questioning everything, anything unaligned must go. Like, I mean, that really goes along with this message here. We're just like taking this leap of faith into the unknown. And then at the bottom, we got messenger, serious energy, bringing harmony and balance, which really goes along with this effortless flow. So it's just sort of like, at any other time, this would seem like a completely scary, like crazy thought. But like, this is the time when actually this is the stable thing that's going to bring harmony and balance. Oh my gosh. And so when I picked up this card, I got this. I've never even gotten this card before. The Void. Stop, embrace winter, the great cosmic womb. So that's kind of what this whole year is about. It's like a spiritual quest to ascend to this new world of harmony and balance. So yeah, it's enlightening and it's scary, but like it's also super inspiring. It's like, it really feels like, it's funny because like I did this reading which pissed off a lot of people last year on January 6th, and I think it was called A Line in the Sand. And I should go back and link it now and see like what kind of perspective it has now, because like I was just reading the cards, but a lot of people were like super triggered out by this reading. But I think that in a way, like, that's kind of the challenge, you know, there is this line in the sand. Like, how are people going to react to this complete annihilation of the world as we know it, and there's gonna be kind of two paths, like this path of love or the path of fear, you know, and like which one are you going to embrace? So yeah, it's daunting and yet inspiring, and also just this profound opportunity for rebirth. And
Cool.
yeah, this is my mom.
Yeah. Oh,
See?
Mommy.
Yeah. So, that's it. Happy 22, and yeah, I'm just kind of doing this, like I said, for fun, and I'll try to do it as much as I can. I have been really getting super busy lately, so I haven't been super consistent about it, but I'm still here, and I wish you the best of luck and the best 2022 ever.